Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is myself, Lord Splice, here giving you the first ever AEW Dynamite review. I don't know necessarily a name for this video series, but I do love AEW, and I do think that in a way we should definitely support AEW as much as we can here on this channel, as little as it might be. I do think that being able to speak about things that I'm passionate about is things that make me happy. I necessarily don't make videos for the money or for the fame or for anything like that. I mean, a long time ago that was my motive, which is why I had things like Dart Like on and stuff like that, like all these different little series that I had that I wasn't really passionate about, but I was good at it. But now with things with Play on News and now here with AEW reviews, I genuinely think that this is not for money or fame. This is something that I do just because I love to do it. So let's talk about AEW Dynamite. Let's get into that. Recently, this was on March 23rd, Dynamite. It was headlined by Chris Jericho, Daniel Garcia, the New Jericho Appreciation Society against John Silver and Alex Reynolds of the Dark Order. I want to go down certain matches, not necessarily in a specific order. The first thing I want to do is talk about the Varsity Blondes versus the Blackpool Combat Club. First of all, I will give a take that not everybody's going to be happy with. The Blackpool Combat Club, the name sucks.
You suck!
But now that we got the Jericho Appreciation Society, kind of feels like we're double dipping with the ex-WWE guys, building a stable of ex-WWE guys. And I know what people are going to say, oh, they're trying to bring in younger cats. Yeah, but as of now, it just looks like an ex-WWE stable. The match was pretty okay. I thought that the match served its purpose. I think Moxley looked really good. I think Bryan Danielson looked pretty good. The Varsity Blondes got in there a little bit of offense. But needless to say, I am more interested in Julia Hart's story. I do watch Dark. I do watch Dark Elevation. It's been since December, guys. She hasn't taken off that eye patch since December. And I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like the eye patch is growing. She went from an extra small to a large real quick. If the storyline is playing out the way I think it is, I think she's going to remove the eye patch just to show that her eye is now corrupted like Malachi Black was or is. And she's going to wind up joining the House of Black. I think that's why she's sitting on the stairs. She's not just pouting because, you know, she's getting the varsity jacket thrown on her by accident by Griff. I think it's more because she's fed up with it and she's starting to get more and more corrupted. John Moxley and Bryan Danielson, they had a damn good match. They submitted their opponents at the same time, which is pretty cool, using their trademark finishers. It was cool. I think it demonstrated what it needed to demonstrate, that they're badasses. They have their own style of fighting, but their style of fighting can coexist, and in the end, they both were winners. And William Regal on commentary was pretty good. I think that by the time this has run its course, I think William Regal would be a good shoe-in to sit in on the commentating booth.
Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
Impressive.
What a feast. What an incredible display.
Sting, Darby Allin, and the Hardys versus Private Party, The Butcher, and The Blade. That was the second match of the night. It's following CM Punk and Dax Hardwood, which was a decent match in his own right. Get to that in a second. But Sting, Darby Allin, and the Hardys, this is the second time Sting has done some crazy fucking shit. But then he got topped by Jeff Hardy jumping off the fucking concourse of the arena, doing some indie show shit. I think this was Jeff's way of saying, yeah, I may not have been on the indies for a while, but this is a company that embraces the indies, and even a WWE superstar like me can still go back to my indie roots and do some crazy house show shit. And I think it was a good misdirect. He first grabbed the big ladder, and even me myself, I screamed out, oh shit, he's gonna use that giant ass ladder. No, he used the ladder to get on top of a higher platform to get onto the concourse to Swanson. Yeah, you did see some padding through the boxes and stuff like that, but for the most part, it served its purpose. I mean, if only a twat would just sit down there and just nitpick that the boxes could be seen. You don't want somebody to fucking die on their second show, or at all, but just the second show would be even more fucking tragic. Matt Hardy did Matt Hardy stuff. It does look like he's a little bit more physical than when he was in the HFO, like the spots that he's taking and spots that he's doing. I will say that if I had to put my money on it, I know Matt has said that he wants this to be the last hurrah with Jeff, but I think this AEW run truly is, or he wouldn't be putting his body on the line the way he has been in these past few outings as the Hardy Boys, including on the independent circuits. Darby Allin did the Darby Allin thing, got fucked up constantly, then thrown down the stairs. One of the commentators made a fucking joke saying that that's his Achilles heel. They found his Achilles heel. That is pretty fucking funny because it's true, because that's what Ethan Page did, and that's what took Darby out too. It's like Darby could do everything but go down a flight of stairs.
My leg!
Butcher and the Blade took a decent amount of offense. Private Party did take a good amount of offense as well. I just hope that Private Party at least doesn't get stuck as mid-card jobbers. I don't like that for them. I think they're way more talented than that. I think it's a waste to put some AEW originals in there like that and then just make them jobbers. That's not really cool, especially when the only AEW original you have on the other team is Darby Allin. Like Butcher and the Blade, another team that seems very much to be AEW originals taking the pin. I don't really like that. So hopefully that gets fixed or at least addressed in some type of way. Give these dudes some wins, make them credible, put them in a tag team contending scene for like a month or two, and then if you want to send them back to the mid card, that's fine, but give these dudes some shine like you was during the pandemic. Like I said, CM Punk, Dax Harwood, great match, very technical. It did reel me in. It reeled me in like at least four times. I didn't think that CM Punk was going to lose. I went in there pretty fucking confident that he was going to win, and then out of nowhere, Dax Harwood and Cash wrote me into it and worked me. And I genuinely thought that they might actually have CM Punk lose to Dax Harwood. They got me, man. It started off slow and boring for me. By the end of the match, I was on the edge of my seat going, yo, give it to Dax Harwood, man. This motherfucker genuinely got me thinking that he was going to have a win. They are hinting at more Bret Hart when they were doing their was it a pre or post match promo? They had the pink lighting in the background, so hitting at Bret Hart. They weren't really working too much of a heel. They were, Cash Wheeler was staying out of it for the most part. He was reaching for, Harwood's hands for support, not to pull him to the rope, knocking on the apron. It just seemed like a very face versus anti-face match. If this is where FTR is going, where they're not losing their badassness, they're just, going face, but they're more like anti-face, I'm okay with that because that makes sense for their characters. So yeah, I'm cool with that. That was a really, really good match. Let's talk about MJF. MJF is a fucking treasure. He's a treasure. AEW has something big with MJF. The issue with it is some of the things MJF said. He said a line about Jesus, which is, oof, you skirting that. Like, I get at like autograph signings or house shows, or I know AEW doesn't do house shows, but like stuff like that, like environments like that, I can understand. But when you're on live TV in front of thousands of people and you drop that Jesus line, ouch. Surprised that didn't get censored. Maybe it's on the replay. I don't know. I watched it live, but maybe it got censored on the replay. But that was pretty fucked up. So that's clearly MJF. His promo was pretty passionate. I like what they did with Wardlow. MJF saying that Wardlow can't come to the arena no more because he's still in the contract and he's going to pay him to stay home. I know they're going to have to bring Tony Khan in this and somehow and say, hey, let him fight for a contract, or Tony's going to give him a contract. It's going to be something to have Wardlow just show up because Wardlow can be paid to stay home, but Wardlow is not going to stay home. And I think the caveat on that is going to be him getting his official AEW contract from Tony Khan in order to come into the arena. It was pretty good. I liked it. The security guards, I'm tired of this is the third week in a row we use security guards. Let's not go into the WWE territory, guys, having these fake wrestlers be security guards, but they did throw two real security guards in there. I know they're real security guards because they've been at the shows. I've been to every New York show and every New Jersey show, and they've been in all of them. So yeah, those are real security guards. At least two of them. The bald head dude with my skin complexion and the other Caucasian big dude, tattoos. Like they're real security guards. The rest, no, and I'm getting tired of that. Red Velvet versus Layla Hirsch. Hopefully this is over now, but I doubt it. Yeah, Chris. It just seems like that this feud is just never ending and it's just going on just to highlight Chris Statlander's fucking gimmick change. I'm all for it. She looks great. I mean, and I like the badassness. Like I said, I like the edge on her. Yeah, no, I liked it better when, who was it? It was Kylie King, I think Chris and Red Velvet. I'm trying to remember who it was, but they were doing like some Powerpuff Girl gimmick. I actually like that more. We need more female stables besides Britt and her lackeys. But it was pretty good. I liked it. It was a good match. I think Layla Hirsch needs still a little bit work. I'm still vote for her for Team Taz. Taz definitely worked that out of her. But Red Velvet, she's getting better every time I see her in the ring. Chris Statlander, don't see why she was in this match. I know storyline wise, why she came down, but hopefully this feud is over and we can now see what the new gimmick Chris Stat really is. Yeah, Jay Lethal versus Adam Cole. I wanted to end on this match because this match was very... You need to talk more about the Ring of Honor history. If you have the Ring of Honor library and you're going to talk about the history, then do a quick 2-minute video package showing the matches, because I wasn't always a Ring of Honor fan. Like, I followed Ring of Honor, but I wasn't a Ring of Honor fan like that. Like, I didn't really watch it. I watched it when the Elite was on. The Bucks, Hangman, Marty, all that. I watched it then, Flip, but I didn't really watch it religiously like I do with AEW. But Jay Lethal and Adam Cole, they reference that this is their third match. Each man has a match under their belt. So if they wrestled in Ring of Honor for that, show that. You own the footage now. Like, Come on, Tony. How hard can that be, guy? You're smarter than that. But it was really, really good. Like, for example, when JR had that sit down between the Bucks and Kenny and Hangman, they showed Ring of Honor clips and they talked about their time. Like, something like that would have been really cool. I guess you could have did that on Rampage and had Mark Henry have them talk and they could have referenced it. But, you know, if it's a blink and you miss it type of thing where they mentioned it on commentary like twice. But they didn't make a big deal out of it. The match itself was really good. I like seeing Jay Lethal in action. Jay Lethal is one of those dudes where he's kind of like a guy on the highway. He starts driving slow, and then as he's getting closer to his destination, he's getting impatient and speeding the fuck up. And that's very much a CM Punk style, even an Adam Cole style of wrestling, and I think that's why this match meshed very well. In the end, you know, of course, Jay Lethal is not going to get the pin on Adam Cole. Of course, there was, you know, Red Dragon shenanigans, you know, which winds up coming out, and it was pretty good. You can see I'm not really enthusiastic about this week's Dynamite, though. It was, I mean, even with the Hangman stuff being mentioned and having that show up for a little while, like all of that stuff, like I'm not really feeling it. This week's Dynamite, if I have to give it a score, I would say a 3 out of 5, and that's very generous. So this is my honest thoughts of my AEW review. As this series gets rolling, I will start scripting this series, just as a heads up, just to see how I like scripted series. And I'm not a big fan of scripted series, but we'll see how this one goes. But until next time, need an outro catchphrase. Editor, insert a clever AEW outro catchphrase here.
What a feast. What an incredible display.
That's what I just said. Deuces.